Good morning, students. An ideal day should begin with a big smile and a cute little yawn on your face. Now, isn't this really a very nice way of starting your morning? Okay, fine. Then we move on to a thought which is equally beautiful. Don't wait for someone to bring you flowers. Plant your own garden and decorate your own soul. What does it mean, students? Don't wait for someone to bring you flowers. Flowers signifies happiness. We can't depend on somebody else for happiness. It's not that if somebody gives you a gift, only then you will be happy. Or if someone praises you, only then you will be happy. Plant your own garden and decorate your own soul. We need to be happy from within. Only then our soul will be happy, isn't it? We have to be happy ourselves. We have to find happiness ourselves. And only then we will be happy from within. It's not that we have to depend on someone else to be happy. Well, now we start off with picture composition. In this lesson, you will learn how to describe a picture. Suppose this is the picture right in front of you. What do you see in it, students? Looks like the picture of a canteen. Looks like a picture of a restaurant. Or it is some food eating joint. You find that there is a chef and there is a fire in this place. You find there is a couple also who's sitting and there seems to be two friends. What kind of expression do you see in everybody's face? It's like, oh my God, what's wrong? What's happened? Everyone looks surprised, scared, isn't it? Nobody seems very happy. Nobody would be happy if they see a fire like this in the kitchen. You find that the two friends who are sitting in front, one of them in the nervousness drops a spoon, the other one drops a glass. The lady sitting on the other table seems to be really very, very scared. So this is all what you see in the picture. Now if I say, if you have to describe this picture, how do you start? We start with a summary, like a general description of what we see in the picture, right? You just have to imagine. See, we go back to the picture, then it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, what is in the picture? What can you see? You just have to imagine that you are narrating this incident to somebody who has not seen this or somebody who had not witnessed the scene, right? You weave a story around this picture. Something which happened before this incident took place, something which happened while this incident was taking place, and a little bit of what happened just after that, right? You have to think what other people who are actually listening to your story would like to know about it. From that perspective, from that point of view, you have to frame a story. This picture is your only clue to frame a story. Did you understand? So you have to build a story around this. Okay? Then another thing which comes in mind, students, it's like, suppose instead of this picture, if you were given something inanimate, something very abstract, let's say the picture of a tortoise, a turtle, a sea turtle, right? If you have ever seen a sea turtle, students, it is huge in size. And if the turtle is resting, then you won't be able to see the face or the legs or the hands, the arms or whatever it is called. You won't be able to see any of this because all this is hidden inside, hidden under the shell of the turtle. Now if you just have a look on it, then you would probably think that it is a big stone, big rock, something like that. Okay, now maybe a picture of it is given to you. So in that manner, if you have to build a story, then how do you understand? How do you write? So in such a case, students, you have to describe it. Like, what does the picture look like? What do you see in it? You have to compare this picture with something else. Is it similar to something, or does it look very different from something? Or what is it actually made of? What are its parts? What can be the result of it? Or you can say that, does it remind you with anything? Is it that you are thinking that it is a rock but rather it is something else? Or what can you do with it? Or what can you use? See, all these are possibilities which you can think about, and then build a story around it. You have to, like in this point number 6, you have to argue for and against it, take either position. Like, you can reason out anything, whatever comes in your mind. It's pure imagination, and you have to build a story around it. But when something, if the picture is given like this, the one which is given to you right now, where the picture is of a fire, then how do you explain that? Then you have to observe the picture and find out the following. Now you have to imagine, students, you have to see all the characters in the picture, and who seems to be the main character. You can add on more characters to it, and then you can describe the background, the surrounding, the setting of the picture. Background over here means the setting seems to be like in a restaurant. Maybe the fire took place in a restaurant, or it took place in a canteen, or it took place in some eating joint, as the picture suggests, right? So you can describe about the background as well. Then you can describe about the character, what they are doing. They are having lunch, or they've come on a, if it's a school canteen, then they are there in the lunch break, and what are they eating. You can possibly describe about that as well. Then how does the main character look? Do they look surprised? Do they look excited? Or do they look very sad? Or do they look very scared? You can describe about the look on the face of the characters also. And when and where did the story take place? See, students, you can imagine that you are narrating the story to someone who has not seen it, okay? Who has not seen it, and you are giving a clear-cut description of the picture. So what you have to do is, when you write a composition on this picture, then you build a story, you weave a story around this picture. You add on more characters to it, and you start with something which might have happened before this picture took place, something which happened during this picture, means during the something before the fire took place, and something before, you can say something when the fire, when it caught fire, and little bit you can describe about what happened immediately after that. How were you able to douse the fire, or maybe how was somebody else who were able to extinguish the fire, or you had called somebody to extinguish the fire. So your story should revolve around this picture, something before it, during the picture, during the incident, and a little bit after that as well, right? Now we come to a sample kinds. Okay, now this is, of course, you have to give a title also. The title which is given over here is Fire in the Canteen. Now yesterday a fire broke out in the school canteen. I was sitting with my friends eating a bowl of delicious vegetable noodles. Now see, students, the way it is described, they have imagined that this is not a restaurant, but they've taken it as a school canteen. Yesterday a fire broke out in school canteen. So you are describing about an incident which has taken place yesterday. I was sitting with my friends. Now you have also, it's not that you are describing about somebody else's experience. You're describing about your own experience. And you have also described that you were eating a bowl of delicious vegetable noodles. My friends were eating fish and rice. See, more characters. You've put in more characters. My sister had just brought a plate of pancakes. Still more characters. Suddenly we heard a loud explosion coming from one of the food stalls, followed by a cloud of smoke. See, you have woven a story around that picture, isn't it? And fortunately, some of the teachers were in the canteen and they took control of the situation when the fire broke out. After that, what happened? The description is, one teacher shouted to everyone to leave the canteen. Right? See, you can obviously read it. And on the school field, another teacher was giving instructions through a megaphone so that everybody could hear him. And all of you were asked to line up in the classes, and then a fire brigade was called. They were actually able to extinguish the fire. And then when the fire was extinguished, you people were allowed to go back to the canteen and get your stuff from there. So you see, students, over here the writer has written something before the fire took place, during the fire taking place, and a little bit after that also. How the fire extinguisher were brought in, how the fire brigade arrived, how they were able to douse the fire, and what happened after that once it was doused also. And then a smooth ending. I was really relieved to see that my wallet was still on the bench where I had left it. That was a very exciting lunch break. So this is how a smooth end has to be done. It should never, any kind of composition should not have an abrupt ending, students, right? Now with this we come to an end. I hope picture composition is clear to you. Whenever a picture is given to you, if it is of inanimate thing, we need to examine it from all sides, and we need to understand, we need to compare, analyze, imagine, and then build a story around that picture. Similarly, if it is something, if the picture contains characters, then we have to build a story around it. You can add on more characters, you can add on more imaginative things, and then complete your story. All right, thank you.